Okay, so here is behind the scenes, and you're seeing what I'm doing when I'm recording. And it's not going to be very exciting, but here it goes. Today is February the 14th, Sunday 2022, and I could guess in 2 short months the rains and the floods will come back to China. But before we get into the serious stuff of the show, let me just show you what's happening, a little sneak peek towards the end of the show, and it looks like this. February the 13th, Sunday, a day of rest. Well, not for me. 2022, and a warm welcome to the show. Now, I am doing a kind of like behind the scenes video at the same time with my iPad here, and you can see that I'm not too sure when, but it's basically, you can see what I'm doing when I'm recording this. Not much, to be honest with you. In fact, I thought I'd just move it over like this a little bit more so you can see something a little, I don't know. Let's just leave it there for now. Okay. Waffling on. Let's do that again. And you can see those clips towards the end of the show. Now today we're talking about the floods, we're talking about the rivers, and you can see from the map there, these are the main rivers in China. You can see the Yellow River, you can see the Yangtze River, you can see the Pearl River. The Three Gorges Dam is on the Yangtze River and is always the subject of controversy and the question why, which I sort of do as a hobby near enough every single day of the year, so you can enjoy. That's working. Every year since the beginning of time, the Yellow, the Yangtze and the Pearl will always flood during these summer months. It can start as early as April, and we really don't know which river is going to flood the most. Last year it was the Yellow River. The year before last was the Yangtze, and the Pearl seems to be every year because they will have lots of tropical thunderstorms, rainstorms like this. And what the Chinese government say is that, oh, we have developed sponge cities, but they don't exactly work. Again, we could go down to the shoddy construction of these sponge cities. But this is what the government actually has to say. For years, China claimed to hold an estimated 50,000 rivers within its borders, but now half of them have abruptly vanished. Last week, China's Ministry of Water Resources announced the results of the 3-year survey of the country's waterways, with startling declines in water supply. According to the census, there were 22,209 as of 2011, each covering at least 100 square kilometres. That marked the decrease of about 28,000 from the government's previous estimates, raising fears among environmentalists and putting Beijing on the defensive. So, what is the actual government doing about it? Well, again, the sponge city. And what are they doing about floods? Well, they say they're going to do something, but guaranteed very soon, and it will be on this channel, you will see the floods in the cities, for example, Wuhan, Yinchang, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Harbin, anywhere near enough a city, because there's no prevention. And you can see some of these rivers here, and you can see some of the devastation that's the man-made disasters, not man-made disasters, man-made industry and just polluting the rivers. Now there is possibly a solution, and I came up with this yesterday. And it was just an idea, and it's something which has been in the United Kingdom, in London, for a long time. It is the River Thames barrier at the beginning of the River Thames, or not the beginning, the end of the River Thames, just before London. So basically London won't flood. If you haven't seen it, it looks a little bit like this. So basically this will defend London from any floods. Now, wouldn't it be great if there was something like this in China to stop the floods? I don't know how much these things cost. I could imagine they're billions of dollars. But China has a very high reserve of money, a couple of trillion, I do believe, in USD and in hard currency. And this, in the long term, would actually help the cities develop and make more money, because there will be little or no floods. These sponge cities that we have seen just don't work. Look at what happened in July last year in Henan province, which we talked about yesterday and some other time before as well. If there's too much rain, then these barriers could be loaded and the city would possibly be saved. The countryside may be flooded, but the city would be saved. People would be saved. Less people's homes would be devastated with this. Will it happen? I doubt it very much, because with all the 28,000 rivers in China, I would say that would be an impossible task. And we know the floods are going to come. The dams are meant to be flood prevention. But again, as we mentioned on this channel, the Three Gorges Dam does not stop flood prevention. And experts and witnesses have said before the Three Gorges Dam, yes, we did have floods, but the Three Gorges Dam actually made it worse, especially with their 100-metre water gushes from their 22 sluice gates, all opening at the same time, going at an incredible speed. Ridiculous. Yeah, just drives me a little bit mad, I'm afraid. So let's calm down and let's have a look at the levels. Kutan is the same at 172, and at the bottom you got the Three Gorges Dam and 170.31. It says it's gone down a little bit, but the inflow and the outflow once again have risen to over 7,000. 7,100 for the inflow, 7,750 for the outflow. So it's getting close to evening itself out. So while we're here, let's have a look at the weather, and because it's a Sunday, why not have the musical weather over the next 48-hour period around central China, and you can see the rain and etc. Looks a little bit like this. Now, I know there's lots of people who'll be interested in what I showed at the very beginning of the video, the cute little panda. Yes, well, actually, the very big panda, and I just found this on Twitter. And as I said, China is not all that bad. There's many wonderful things to see. So I thought I'd bring you a bit of happiness of this playful panda. Chinese New Year was only a couple of weeks away. Fireworks near enough are banned in the big cities in China like Beijing and Shanghai and Shenzhen and Guangzhou. But in the smaller cities, they can get away with these fireworks. And some Chinese people, not the government, Chinese people are very creative with their fireworks. Have a look at this. That really brings us to a close for today. I just wanted to show you and for you to get prepared with what's going to happen this year. It's something which happens every year in China. If you do watch what happens in China, today I'm not obviously going to talk about the Olympics because every mainstream media is talking about the Olympics, and I'm not going to go down that path for you. But I will continue to do what's happening with the rivers, with the dams, the three gorges, etc. Because this is not what's covered in mainstream media unless it's a really big flood. And then it is reported. But then the Chinese media would come along and say the Western media is a whole load of rubbish. And it's a never-ending circle. I like to think of myself in between. Here's the evidence, here's the picture, and doing it in an objective point of view. Yes, sometimes subjective in a way, because sometimes it's just, I'm going to use that word again, ridiculous. And why does it? For no apparent reason apart from being lazy or saving $1 or $2 American dollars, for example. It's all food for thought for you. So, I am making another video which I explained before, which is here, and this is just the background or the whole making, and I haven't turned the camera off on that, so you can see that a little bit later. I'm not too sure when. It's not a very exciting video, it's just me rabbiting on, and you can hear some beep beep beeps, and that's about it. Be well, thank you as always for your time, and I will see you tomorrow, which is Valentine's Day. Don't forget to say to your loved one, partner, whoever, a simple I love you, and they will love you more for remembering Valentine's Day. I have written it down in my calendar to say to Sophie. Bye bye for now, thank you. And that, I think, is about it. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.